Hello there and welcome to this video. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what to do if you feel like you'll never feel good again and you'll never recover from your depersonalization or derealization. If you are new to my channel, then welcome. And on this channel, I have lots of videos about everything to do with DPDR. I did actually used to suffer from it myself quite a while ago, but I've fully recovered from it. I don't have any of the symptoms. And now I help other people overcome their DPDR through coaching methods. Let's get into the video and I'll show you what you can do if you absolutely believe that there's no hope for you to recover. Let's begin by looking at some of the reasons why you think you'll never recover. There are many reasons why people think they'll never recover. And some of those include, I've had it for too long. It's a chemical imbalance. I've tried everything and nothing has worked. I've just gotten used to feeling this way. And I can really understand that if you're thinking these things, it really does seem impossible to recover. People have also tried seeing psychotherapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, hypnotherapists, everything, and nothing has seemed to work. So, of course, if you feel like you've tried everything, of course, it's going to feel like you can't recover. I'd like to ask you a really important question now. If you look at these reasons objectively, are they true or are they just what you're telling yourself? That's really important. I mean, are these things actually true? Or have you just told yourself them so many times for so many years that you've just made yourself believe yourself that they're true? One of the first steps to realize that you can recover is to question these thoughts. When you do start to question these thoughts, you actually change your mindset. Let's look at the very first thing you need to do to recover. The first thing you need to do to recover is to change your mindset. If you continue to tell yourself why you can't, then you won't ever seek out help because you'll think there's no point. And that's really important. If you think about it, you're forever telling yourself that you can't recover, it's impossible, I'll never be able to recover, I'll always have this. Then those type of thoughts, they're not really going to motivate you to want to recover, are they? Because you've basically just accepted the fact you're like this forever. Instead, what you need to tell yourself is that it is possible to recover, no matter how long you have suffered from it, because it really is possible to recover. And this will open your mind to the possibility that recovery is a very real option. When your mindset shifts slightly, it takes it from an I can't to maybe I can. This is a really, really important first step towards recovery, is to actually believe that it is possible to recover and that you're not going to have this forever. For a lot of people, this first step of changing your mindset is really difficult, because how do you just snap your fingers and change your mindset? There's a lot of motivation behind why we keep our mindset. This is the reason mindset change is so hard. Any type of change, even if it is self-motivated change, can seem really scary. It can seem frightening, unfamiliar, and worst of all, it can make you anxious at the thought of not feeling this way because you felt this way for so long. So isn't that like a really sort of topsy-turvy thing to have? Is that a change which will make you feel better actually makes you feel anxious because you're worried about not feeling the way that you feel now. And you feel, well, how am I going to feel when I'm better? So this is a big reason why people don't actually want to shift their mindset, because they're actually scared of change. People gain a lot of things by keeping their mindset and problems. And this is what is called a secondary gain. And some benefits they get is they're getting attention by always talking about their issues. They have a sense of comfort and familiarity by keeping them. They can blame all their problems on it, even if the DPDR is not to actually blame. And it's easier to keep things the way they are rather than having to actually put in the work to change them. If you look back at the points again, do you find that you're always talking about your issues and that's the way that you connect with people? Do you find that you're just blaming DPDR for everything in your life, no matter whether it's to blame or not? And do you think it's actually easier to keep it? I really do feel for you and I really do understand. And actually, some of those benefits that were listed just then, I actually experienced myself when I had depersonalization for a very short time, and also when I had depression for quite a long time. It was actually more comfortable to stay depressed because I knew what it felt like. And I started to forget what it felt like to, sort of be normal again. And it actually made me a bit scared. Like, although I wanted it, I really wanted to get back to my old self. I'm just like, well, if I get back to my old self, that means I have to get my life back on track. And it means I have to start being responsible and accountable for my life. And I have to start, sort of facing up to everything. And that seemed even more scary than keeping my DPDR and depression anyway. So I did have to go through this process of changing my mindset. And that is what I really believe that you have to do. It is possible to recover. People have recovered from having DPDR for longer than 40 years, like all the symptoms gone, like their life completely back to normal. So it is possible for you too. Like essentially, the way the mind works for everybody is that we're all sort of the same. We all sort of think the same way, and we do the same things. I'm not saying that we all have the same likes and dislikes and opinions and things like that, but that need for connection, everybody has that need for connection, that need for familiarity. Everybody has that need for familiarity. It's the same with certainty as well. Everybody needs to feel some sense of certainty. So are you getting that sense of connection by complaining to your friends all the time about how crap your life is? Is there a better way that you can get that sense of connection? Or are you keeping that sense of certainty and familiarity by keeping your DPDR because you know what it's like? Is there a better way to get a sense of certainty and familiarity? If changing your mindset is too difficult right now, and it does just seem way too scary to do that, then just take the first tiny, tiny little step of starting to question yourself about these things. Well, what am I gaining by keeping this? How am I benefiting from keeping this? And really be honest with yourself. Don't just sort of dismiss it and, oh, I'll get better, and oh, it's just another thing, and oh, well, I've just had it and I'm just going to keep it. It's so easy and familiar to slip back into that way of thinking. And that's what I was on about before about the working. It does take a little bit of work. You do have to catch yourself. You can't just expect to snap your fingers and all of a sudden be better. It takes little incremental processes over time. But what's really good is that once you see even a 0.5% improvement, that is enough motivation to really kick you into overdrive to get going. And then you see another 1% and a 2% and 10%. And before you know it, you're 50% better, then you're 80% better. And you're like, wow, what was I thinking all that really sort of negative stuff for, and all that really unresourceful stuff? It really didn't help me. So once you see the evidence, once you see the proof that it is possible to recover, that's all you need. That is going to plant the seed in your mind that recovery is possible. And once that seed is planted, it's very, very, very difficult to unplant it. So my friends, I really hope you've learned a little bit from this video. And if you do have any questions, please reach out to me. All my contacts are in the description of the video. And if you've liked the video or learned something from it, then like it and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.